Sada po planu imamo u 9:15 ćemo se spojiti sa Briselom iz kabineta naše, mogu tako reći, potpredsjednice Europske komisije, gospođe Dubravke Šuice, o trenutnoj situaciji na razini Europske unije. Reče nam nešto zaposlenica njenog kabineta, Ingrid Godkin. Ona će se spojiti sad za koju minutu, a do tada, evo, dok tehnika napravi svoje, ja ću iskoristiti ovo vrijeme kao glavni u ovoj cijeloj priči na neki način da objasnim onu dvotočku. Znači, ovo jest 73. godišnjica objave Univerzalne deklaracije o ljudskim pravima i mislim da samo kad stavimo taj broj sebi u glavu, 73 godine, to je jako puno i možemo svi sami razmišljati gdje smo došli, gdje mi stojimo kad je u pitanju ta važna stvar poštivanja i promocija ljudskih prava. A razlog zašto je dvotočka tu jest zato što ja kao katolički teolog ne mogu pobjeći od toga, moram svugdje gdje mogu ubaciti malo i teologije i popularizirati je. Naime, 10 Božjih zapovjedi koji su nekako u temelju moralnog ophođenja svih kršćana i katolika, a i svih ljudi dobre volje, postoji znači tih 10 Božjih zapovjedi, od čega imamo 3 zapovjedi koje se odnose na odnos naspram Boga, božanstva, a 7 zapovjedi uređuje naše međuljudske odnose. I meni je to bilo jako zanimljivo staviti, sad ovdje nemam iza sebe, staviti u ovu konferenciju sa tom dvotočkom, čisto da se spomenemo i toga da i ljudsko dostojanstvo i ljudska prava su utemeljena na kraju na naravnom zakonu, a sam naravni zakon je proizašao iz, mi tako držimo i smatramo, koji se smatramo vjernicima, iz božanske volje stvaralačke. Evo, ja sad ovdje trenutno čekam da nam se uključi Ingrid. Ona će prezentirati što Europska komisija radi i pokazat će kroz neki 10-ak minuta koji su temelji trenutne konferencije Ladislave o budućnosti Europe. Vjerujem da će nam i Ladislav Ilčić koji je u Europskom parlamentu moći nešto reći kroz svoj panel o tome, odnosno kroz panel na kojem sudjeluje. Evo sad ovdje Ingrid. Samo još možda koju minuticu da nam se spoji sa svime. Hello Ingrid, sad ćemo na engleskom ovaj dio sa gospođom Ingrid. Ona nešto malo zna, kaže da ih je gospođa Šuica malo i naučila hrvatskoga, ali ćemo na engleskom održati ovaj dio i kasnije imamo isto online izlaganje Aleksandra Temkina iz Varšave. So, Ingrid, hello. I leave the floor to you now, so please.
Good morning, Bruno. Good morning to all the participants joining us here online today, and greetings from Brussels. First of all, I want to say that the European Commission Vice President for Democracy and Demography, Dubravka Šuica, sends you her profound greetings. Especially to you, Bruno, but to everybody joining us today. She would have very much liked to be present to discuss with you here today on the subject of human dignity, in particular as we celebrate, as we do every year, on the 10th of December, that day in 1948 when the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I think we can start today with the principle that we all have on our minds. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. The European Union is strongly committed to further advancing universal values for all. Respect for human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, the rule of law. These are all values that continue to underpin all aspects of the internal and external policies of the European Union. We must promote the full participation of all without discrimination. The European Union is promoting a global and holistic approach within and beyond our borders. For example, the European Democracy Action Plan, adopted in 2020, proposes actions to promote free elections, increase protection of journalists, and fight disinformation and interference while fully protecting the freedom of speech. This includes enhancing our capacity to address disinformation and countering foreign interference. When fighting disinformation, the EU's work remains firmly rooted in European values and principles, including upholding the freedom of expression and people's right to access legal content. In May this year, the Commission also issued guidance to strengthen the Code of Practice on Disinformation, to have a more robust framework for monitoring implementation. We also need a new disinformation pact with platforms, advertisers, websites, and civil society to improve the accountability of algorithms and to design better ways to deal with any perceived manipulation, as we have seen in many cases online. But also beyond our borders, we have the Action Plan on Human Rights and Democracy from 2020 to 2024 as part of our external action. The plan foresees cooperation with third countries to enhance democratic resilience and counter challenges to democracy. This is the first European Commission to actually have a portfolio dedicated to democracy and demography, as led by Vice President Šuica. You may know that Vice President Dubravka Šuica is a former teacher and an elected representative at the local, national and European level. During her time as Mayor of Dubrovnik, she established the first children's council there. With young people, she changed politics at the very grassroots level. She now has the opportunity to make this a reality too at the European level. Vice President Šuica is the Commission's representative in the Executive Board of the Conference on the Future of Europe. The Executive Board was mandated by a joint declaration signed by the Presidents of the European Parliament, the Presidency of the Council, and the European Commission. But why are we having the Conference on the Future of Europe? Well, firstly, democracy itself is not static. It evolves constantly. Therefore, our political and democratic institutions and politicians must evolve too, to ensure our democracy is fit for the future. The conference is part of the EU response to this challenge and a sign of new thinking. The conference helps to answer the call of citizens who want to have a greater role in policy making in the European Union. The conference does not replace representative democracy, it strengthens it. It is important we do not leave a space for other, less constructive narratives to develop. Indeed, a well-functioning democracy is based on a relationship of trust, and this should never be taken for granted. And that is why we are bringing citizens into the heart of policy making in the European Union to shape the future union they want to live and work in. The conference's guiding principle is keeping citizens at the heart of the process to help build democratic legitimacy and trust, and ensuring that future generations have a European Union that responds to them now. It is also an opportunity for an intergenerational dialogue. This is vital to building a democracy for all ages, capable of responding to all ages. The Conference on the Future of Europe is an example of deliberative democracy in action for the first time ever at the European Union level. Deliberative democracy practices are a necessary complement to our representative democracy in that space between elections. Parliaments are places for debate. The conference, as a deliberative democracy practice, is a space for deliberation. democratic institutions by giving citizens an effective role in public decision making. This is because people are more likely to trust a decision that has been influenced by ordinary people than one solely made by government. Inclusion is a key principle and value underpinning the conference. Indeed, deliberative democracy practices contribute to inclusiveness and fairness of decision-making processes because they bring in people who would typically not contribute to their democracy, to their politics. Through the conference, citizens are present in a European public space based on the principles of inclusiveness, of transparency, of respectful and truthful deliberation, with an emphasis on access to factual information. There is a real possibility for the European Union to inspire and lead on this globally. Vice President Suiza has been engaging with many actors across the world. For example, the Chilean Constitutional Convention, the Bali Democracy Forum, the Summit for Democracy. The eyes of the world are on the conference, and it is our responsibility to lead and share on best practices underpinning human dignity where possible. Participation in the Conference on the Future of Europe is based on a charter with key principles for those who wish to participate. For example, organisers must put citizens at the centre of every event. Events must be inclusive and accessible. There must be diversity in the debates and topics and the citizens participating. They must respect freedom of speech. It cannot be hateful or illegal. We must favour cross-border and transnational participation. We must use different EU languages and guarantee full transparency and report and provide feedback on the debates and deliberations taking place. Citizens are contributing fully in this process. It is truly inspiring. We have made available a multilingual digital platform where all citizens can organise events and upload the results or ideas. May I respectfully suggest that your event today could be uploaded on the platform of the conference so you can bring your voice to the deliberations on human dignity and share it with citizens across the European Union. Croatian citizens also participate in the European citizen panels of the conference. It is encouraging to see such a diverse group of citizens, 800 of them in all, aged from 16 to 85 from across 27 member states. Citizens are currently in Italy this weekend in their third and final phase of deliberations, where they will come up with concrete recommendations. We also have plenaries where citizens' recommendations are discussed between the citizens and their elected representatives and social partners and civil societies, where they come together to discuss them all, each one equal with the other. This is truly historic. The conference is an unprecedented opportunity for a transnational, multilingual exercise in deliberative democracy. The manner in which it is organised is based on the principle of the respect and dignity of each and every participant. We are learning a precious lesson. When given a safe and respectful place, citizens can creatively and fully contribute to the design of public policies. And we need the insights of every citizen to overcome the challenges we are facing, be it pandemic, climate change, or economic inequality. Educating young people towards being more engaged in the democracy and having a say about their future is also key. I would like to conclude now by saying in the joint declaration, the three institutions have jointly committed to follow up on the outcome of the conference. This is essential for the credibility and legitimacy of the conference. fulfilled their responsibilities by next spring. From next spring onwards, it will be incumbent, it will be the responsibility of the EU institutions to respond. It will be important for citizens to recognise themselves in the outcomes. This will legitimise the process as a whole and its key principles, while maintaining the dignity and human rights of every citizen and empowering citizens of all ages, backgrounds and education to have the opportunity to build the European Union they want to live and work in. Thank you very much, Bruno, and everyone joining us today, and I wish you very successful deliberations here too. Thank you.
Thank you, Ingrid, very much. Yeah. So now I like to use the opportunity to thank you and Miss Dubravka Šuica. If anyone is having a question or commentary, may speak now or be silent by the end of the conference. So yeah, thank you for this invitation. We will definitely try to upload this conference and the content of this into your platform. So thank you very much, and say hi to Ms. Dubravka.